This is Ben Shalom, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so Tyson Fury spoke to Sky Sports, and he was asked, of course, about the fight after Francis Ngannou against Oleksandr Usyk. Of course, this weekend he's taking on Francis Ngannou in a gimme fight, but of course he's taking a hell of a lot of money, so fair play, right? But the fight that everyone wants to see is him versus Usyk, the undisputed fight. But anyway, he was asked when will that fight take place, and he's saying that Usyk has no choice but to fight him in December. Oleksandr Usyk did an interview on his own YouTube channel where he said that ideally he'd like a 12-week camp for Tyson Fury, but if the fight day is going to be sooner than 12 weeks, then of course he'll take it and he'll turn up and he'll do whatever anyway. That's the part that a lot of these Tyson Fury fanatics, not fans, his fans heard it quite clearly and understood, but there are some radical ones out there who want to leave out that last part and just focus on, he said he wants 12 weeks, when 12 weeks takes us past December, okay? But they forget about the fact that he said, I will fight him whenever anyway, okay? But anyway, Tyson Fury responded to that by saying, he has no choice but to fight me in December, because if he don't, then he's breaching contract and he gets sued, all that kind of good stuff. But again, you see, a lot of this is dependent on how Tyson Fury gets on with Francis Ngannou. How can we even say that? But I don't know, in case he gets cut, in case he loses. I mean, come on. Listen, neither is really going to happen, is it? Okay, this is an exhibition fight, really, but it's going to be on record, apparently, because now the British Boxing Board of Control have sanctioned it. So it just means now that Tyson Fury will ensure it's not going to be a draw. I still believe that Tyson Fury will just wear down Francis Ngannou, make him tire out, and Francis Ngannou will stop on the stool or his team will pull him out. Something along those kind of lines. But in reality, Fury can end him in 1 round or 2 rounds if he really wants to. If it goes past 2 or 3 rounds, then either something's wrong or Tyson Fury is carrying him. That's the reality of it. Anyway, back onto the Oleksandr Usyk part. Now, providing, of course, Fury doesn't get cut against Francis Ngannou, which would be criminal if he does. But if he does, then obviously December isn't going to happen anyway. But there again, Tyson Fury could just be lying about this. Because Tyson Fury lies about everything else. You know, even the day that he signed against Oleksandr Usyk, he was saying he ain't going to fight him. Oleksandr Usyk has to take a small cut and all this kind of stuff when he'd already signed to fight him, okay? And he knew that the fight was already signed. See, he can't help himself but lie. There's something not right with him. He's very, very insecure, quite clearly. But listen, a fight with Usyk versus Fury, it's a fight that must happen. Listen, I don't care if it's December. I don't care if it's January. I don't care if it's February or if it's March. What I care about is it happens. That's what I care about. All right, I don't care about Usyk breaching contract. I mean, if anybody wants to know about signing contracts and not fulfilling them, Tyson Fury would know all about that, right? As in the Vladimir Klitschko rematch, right? The Alexander Ustinov fight, which was fair play on that one. I totally understand why he didn't fight Usyk. Ustinov on that particular fight date. And quite a few others. He tried to get out of the Deontay Wilder fight. Well, allegedly he tried to get out of it. Who knows? Maybe he was just building it and using Joshua's name for the third fight. Who knows? Because of the arbitration, whatever. But anyway, he knows a thing or two about trying to breach contracts. Okay, so if anybody's going to know, it's going to be him. But Usyk will turn up. If it turns out to be December the 23rd or whatever it may be, Usyk will turn up. And he'll give it his best. But also at the same time, you could look at it and say, well, Tyson Fury, he needs a good training camp as well, because he's fighting a 6'3" southpaw who's arguably more skilled than Tyson Fury, faster than Tyson Fury. So he's going to need a good training camp himself to prepare for this southpaw. But at the same time, you could argue that, well, a training camp, it is more about getting fit than it is anything else. The tactical side of it is actually a small part of the training camp. The training camp itself is getting fight ready, getting conditioned for the fight. Fury will already be conditioned, but again, you see, he says that, why would Usyk need a 12-week training camp to fight me? I can fight him on a 4-week training camp, but yet here he is having a 12, 16-week camp against a Francis Ngannou, a guy who's never once had a boxing bout in his life. Correct? Personally, I think that he was just using a lot of this because he hates spending time with his family, okay? If we're going by his Netflix series, that seems to be the case. anyway, who knows? Who knows? But Fury will already be match fit. Usyk, and listen, I'm sure he trains, he ticks over and all that kind of stuff. I know his official training camp hasn't officially started yet. I know that for a fact. Doesn't matter how I know, but I know it for a fact. But Usyk was deep in training camp when he thought he was going to be fighting Tyson Fury in April at Wembley Stadium. He was already deep in training camp. Again, I know that for a fact that he was, and Tyson Fury was not. I mean, eventually he got into camp, but Usyk had quite a few weeks on him. I know that much. This time round, it's complete opposite. Fury's got time on his side with the training camp. Usyk does not. But Fury's still going to need a decent training camp to obviously prepare for someone like a Oleksandr Usyk. Of course, names like Joe Pataya has been mentioned. I did an interview with Richard Torres Jr. Again, same dimension, same everything as Oleksandr Usyk. Southpaw and all that kind of good stuff. Undefeated Olympian. He said that he would love to go into training camp with Tyson Fury. And again, they're both top ranked, so maybe that'll happen, who knows. But he's going to need to get some good sparring partners in. He's going to have to be ready for it, because if he just goes in there fit, well, he's going to struggle, because we've seen him struggle against Southpaws before. We've seen him struggle against shorter fighters before. You marry them both together, a shorter fighter and a Southpaw, very, very skillful. Fury could look very, very clunky, very, very ordinary in this fight if he hasn't taken his training camp seriously. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. There's no risk that Oleksandr Usyk is going to breach his contract or all that kind of stuff, as much as I'm sure part of Tyson Fury would love him to do that. But anyway, I wouldn't have thought Usyk's going to breach his contract or anything like that. That's my thoughts on it all. You drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.